All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Monday, April 25th, 2022. If you like the content, subscribe, like, comment. Come find me at carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts and analysis. Hey, we're beating the market by about 20% year to date, and it's all for the price of a Prime membership. And unlike Jeff Bezos, I'm actually trying to make you money with your subscription. Plus, there's a 2-week free trial, so you can try me out for 6 weeks for just $15. Also have trading courses available as well as one-on-one video coaching now into the markets here. Lots of chop today. Market's starting to turn green. Couple of sectors here. Got XLF, Dow Transports, and semiconductors now turning green, as well as several other tech stocks. You see Apple there on my screen, Nvidia, and several other names are just hitting the flat line now after a dip this morning, but ultimately just lots of chop here. You see the spiders here. Worked around down here for several hours and then started to bottom out in the middle of the day. It looks like they had a little bear trap going on there. They dipped it below the lows and then we rallied back up, and now we are kind of squeezing a little bit into the close. Now it's not serious heavy reversal volume unless we get a ton here in the next 20 minutes. It's about 3:41 p.m. right now, so not huge volume, what you'd like to see as sort of a bottoming signal, but it is a really nice tail candle for the spiders. And I told you guys last week that 425 was likely to be defended. Obviously, you came down with a lot of volume, a lot of velocity. So typically when that happens, you can dip, and you can dip below certain levels and kind of pierce through them. And we talked about Friday being a 90% down day. I said that over the weekend. That was a positive. Usually you get some type of relief after something like that. But also going into Friday, you also expect a gap down Monday with that type of action, and that's kind of what we got. A little bit of panic here into the morning session. And one of the things I want to point out is that those characteristics are definitely changing a little bit, and we'll see if this trend continues. I do expect it to. So let's look at TLT here, up 1.24%, and it gapped up this morning. Also this morning, the triple Qs were outperforming the spiders. They were on Friday as well. Semis turned positive in the first hour or so of trading. Apple was holding up. You know, there was we saw tech outperforming essentially, and we saw energy get hit really hard. So these are typical signs of a more typical risk off, and it's more characteristics of a disinflationary environment. And I know the inflation, everybody's worried about inflation, but what happens is when you have too much inflation, eventually that turns into deflation. Eventually the market fixes itself in that regard, and demand destruction comes into play. So it's possible that we could be seeing some type of a rotation in that regard, where bonds start to bid finally and kind of do the Fed's job for it. So we'll see what we get out here. Again, 1 or 2 days doesn't make a trend, but overall, that's definitely something to keep an eye on here. I do have short-term resistance at about 432 to 435 on the spiders. So we'll see what we get up moving into tomorrow. Overall, a nice showing, though, for the market. Let's look at the triple Qs here. So dipping all the way down to, I believe it was 322. Yeah, 322.43 was the low, and a nice reversal there. Notice how it never really got as low as the spiders. Much less of a tail candle today. So again, the triple Qs and pretty good volume here. So better volume on the triple Qs than on the spiders. So that is not a terrible sign there for the market. Take a look at the diamond, basically back testing this downsloping trend line. Just really short-term oversold, no surprise, getting a bounce. And look at the IWM, really getting defended here. So that's a really good reversal candle there on the IWM. Again, not great volume, but you see that weekly level there, that is being defended right now. So we'll kind of give the market the benefit of the doubt for now. It did get really oversold, but we really need to wait on pattern with this market. Don't be a cowboy right now. We're at Carnivore Trades right now, we're in very few positions, and they're very small positions right now. And that's for a reason, because this market doesn't have a trend. It has a weekly trend and a monthly trend, but the daily trend is all over the map. So this is a tough market to play in. If you're going to be a cowboy, you're going to get shot as well. So keep that in mind. Looking at the VIX today, look at the reversal there. So it got above 30. I said last week that it probably had to go up and test that 30 handle. This is where it was defended for a long time. It eventually broke down through that. So once we push through it again, it makes sense that would be resistance on the way back up. And it is acting as resistance now as it is coming back in nicely. But still, in the upper, it's still above 27. So it's not like volatility is low by any means, but something to keep an eye on there. Let's look at semis. We talked about how they were green earlier. Really need to see some follow through from this, but overall, not a bad showing. They're defending that low, so we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. It's technically safe until you close below that on a weekly basis. IGV having a nice day as well, up 1.76% currently. So currently defending these lows here. And a lot of these cloud stocks, a lot of beaten down tech stocks are actually performing well today. Look at Affirm, up nicely, up 4% here. Roblox, up nicely as well. I mean, these are stocks that shouldn't be doing well in a major sell-off environment. Here's Roku up 3.5. Everybody's favorite stock, PayPal, up almost 2% on the day. So some of these beaten down growth stocks are actually performing okay. Facebook is up 1% as well. They report this week, so that will be an interesting market mover for sure. But interesting little kind of tidbits here that the market's throwing at us recently, and it's not just big tech taking the lead. It is some of these smaller cap names as well. All right, Dow Transports, look at this candle here. Pretty impressive reversal there on the transports, all things considered. Nice move there. You could probably get rid of this trend line at this point. It's been traded through too many times. Let's just close that out. So, we talked about this resistance at this green bar low got defended, but now potentially putting in a higher low. So not a terrible look for the transports. We've been covering the jets a lot lately. Again, defending that 200 moving average. Nice little reversal, not green, but it was overbought a little bit. I still think this can get up to 24.25. Again, if I said last week, if it makes a higher low, it's got a shot to get up there, but it does need to do a little bit of consolidation, I think, in order for that to happen. As far as rates, we kind of touched on here, 10-year pulling back off the highs. It's just really overbought right now. And if you guys know, those of you who are members know that we have a cycle coming up on rates right now, and we could be seeing a top very soon here. TYX 30-year also pulling off the highs. Again, it's possible that the 10-year does have to make one last gasp move up and touch that 3% or pierce that 3% number, but I think we are getting very, very top heavy on rates, so bear that in mind. HYG, I don't like that weekly close. We talked about that on Friday. We blew out this pivot low here, but it is getting a bid today, so it's trying to rally back here, but I do not like that weekly close from last Friday. All right, check out the home builders. XHB, big reversal here, outside day. Good volume behind it. ITB, same thing. Look at how beaten down these things were. Look at the XHB this morning. So there's the hourly. It took a pretty good hit in the first hour, and then all reversal after that. So some short covering going on in the home builders. ITB up nicely as well. We just talked about that outside day. VNQ, again, like that little higher low there, little tail candle. So test candle about a week ago, and now a test candle today. Not a terrible look there for VNQ. So some of these kind of real estate investment trust plays are holding up well at the time being, and that's with very high rates right now. So interesting little dynamic there. XLF, we talked about just going green, up 30 basis points now. So defending this double bottom pivot. XBD, defending this double bottom pivot as well. That is a key level. It's got to get defended. Bank of America making new lows, but it is oversold and starting to rally back. JPM, same kind of deal. Goldman holding up really well, and Morgan Stanley holding up okay as well, potentially making higher lows. So not a terrible look there for some of the investment banks. All right, moving on to energy. Crude did dip down again and basically tested 95 one more time, but the more times this thing hammers on this, and it is bouncing off the lows nicely now, but the more times you hammer on this, the more times it's likely to break, right? And we have a series of lower highs now. So I keep telling you guys, I'm expecting probably 85 bucks here at some point, but overall, it's holding up okay. Had a really quiet week last week considering all the fireworks we had, but nice little dip there on crude. We got to talk about XLE, so gapping below that 50 moving average. You see the same thing on Chevron, same thing on Exxon. Now these stocks are way off the lows. Conoco way off the lows. XOP, beautiful rising wedge. I alerted you guys to this weeks ago. And nice rising wedge pattern there on the daily XOP, and same kind of pattern-ish on the OIH with that really steep upsloping trend line that broke down on Friday, and then huge gap down today. But again, these stocks are off the lows, so they're trying to rally back right now. But that gap below the 50 moving average is not a good look. And I've been saying these things are overbought and they need to pull back for quite a while now. And it is interesting now that we're seeing bonds bid, tech kind of bid here, and energy come back in. So more of a traditional disinflation type play. We'll have to keep an eye on this. Remember, a lot of these stocks report earnings this week. All right, Nat Gas. What a move here. So I told you guys over the weekend we were going to have support right in this area. We were short Nat Gas. We had KOLD, made a nice profit, 12% on that on Friday. And we were planning on flipping long this morning, but it just bounced, at like 6, 7 in the morning. It was too early. I don't chase things. I will never chase stocks or any asset. And it just didn't open low enough. If we opened in that 640 range, I probably would have jumped. I would have definitely jumped on a Boyle play. But you can't get them all. Sometimes they run on you, but nice little move there. Would have been great to double dip on this one. But anyways, Nat Gas up 6% here, really running in the last hour or so as it is taking off. This should get up to 725, possibly 750, but a nice little drop and pop setup there on Nat Gas. I wouldn't touch it right now. Don't chase it. Don't do anything with it. All right, dollar index continuing to push higher. This is getting close to double top. It is overbought just like rates are, and it is trading up and up with rates. But again, there's lots of money flowing, a lot of foreign money flowing into the United States right now, and that is keeping the dollar index elevated. But it is starting to get close to double top here, so we'll continue to monitor that. I wouldn't open any positions in it right now. It's just too overbought for me to touch right now. Now, gold, again, interesting, right? So dollar up and gold down. The last couple of months, it's been dollar up, gold up, right? And now that's starting to change a little bit. We just talked about, so energy down, tech up. We're seeing more disinflation type signals here. So gold breaking through this channel here. It's got support down around 1875. I've been telling you that for weeks now. GDX here gapping below the 50 moving average on Friday, rallied up, couldn't hold it. And now coming into support here at about 35, but a huge beat down on GDX today. XAU basically getting all the way down to that 100 moving average, getting a nice bounce right now. These stocks should bounce here. I mean, they're way oversold short term, but man, I wouldn't do anything with them at the moment. They may want to go into corrective mode, honestly. And silver taking a big hit as well. SILJ, I told you guys to avoid this pattern and let it mature a little bit more, and you see what happens. It broke out before it was ready, and now you're below all 4 major moving averages. A brutal beat down there in SILJ. Platinum also taking a hit. This does need to go lower still. And palladium also breaking down a bit, though coming a little bit, making a little bit of a higher low for now. But that could easily get taken out tomorrow. And copper, major rejection here. Now lower lows on the chart. So now we potentially have, a failed breakout here on copper. It's trying to hold that 50-week moving average for right now, but not a great look any way you slice it or dice it. All right, over to the coins. So, oops, there we go. Over to Bitcoin now. So let's take a look here. So we did make a lower low, but we have to see follow through on this, but this could potentially be uber bullish right here. So inside bar pattern, we talked about that rejection. They tried to break out, couldn't break above it. And then before that, you had this little fake breakdown. And now you have a lower low, but look at the volume here, breaking back up. So you're getting good volume, and this is the second time you've had an attempted breakdown, and it's failed both times. So that could be, if we get follow through on this to the upside, Bitcoin could reverse, and we could, eventually make it up to that 46, 47,000 handle after all. So nice look there for some of the coins here. Ether, outside day reversing up. Doge, look at this pop on Doge. Now that is because of the Twitter bid. So for those of you who haven't heard, there was an agreement reached between Twitter and Elon Musk. I don't know the full details of it. It just came out recently, but look at the pop on Doge there. Luna, which has been holding up really well, getting a nice bid here. So crypto showing some strength here. And again, we've been talking about this. I talk about this almost every day, but this leading indicator is very good here for the equity markets overall. But nice move there for crypto. We'll have to watch for follow through tomorrow, just like we got to watch for follow through on the spiders here. Let's take a look. It is 3:54 p.m. We're about to close. Nice squeeze into the close here. So this will probably stall out right here. You got that 100 moving average on the Qs, UVXY coming into these lows. Look at Tesla here. Oh man, they just trapped those bears. Look, that's a bear trap for sure. So it's tough shorting Tesla, and here's another example of that. Look what they're doing to this here in the last 10 minutes. I mean, just showing you that sell-off, and then they just rejected it. So they got people to short there. Wow, nice move there. Nvidia bidding, so Semi's getting a bid as well. Apple coming up here. Seeing a lot of other tech names on my other screens starting to move up as well. Anyways, we're going to wrap it up here. You guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. We'll see if we get some follow through. All right, take care.